All right, good day to you. I believe you are doing well. In my last video on vector, I mentioned that we were already on the last part of the video, which of course has to do with how we can find the resultant of three or more vectors acting at a point, co-planar vectors. So in the last video, I explained in detail how to resolve each given vector into horizontal and vertical components, and I even gave the formula for finding the resultant after we might have resolved all the vectors. So today, that means I'm going to share some aspect of that explanation again. So whichever one you have forgotten, you make sure you go back to the last video. Study it first before you come to this, because this one has to do with the application of what I have treated in the last video. So all I'm going to do now is substituting the given vector with the values given here. As you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 vectors here, which are actually forces. 6 Newton, 3 Newton, 10 Newtons, and 3 Newtons. The 10 Newton force is acting at angle 30 degrees with the horizontal line. This is the horizontal line. The 6 Newton force is acting at angle 60 degrees with the same horizontal line. While we have 3 Newtons on the horizontal exactly, and 3 Newton on the vertical exactly. So I'm going to resolve this and this into vertical and horizontal, and these automatically retain their values on the line they maintain. All right. So like I said, go back to the last video before you watch this. All right. So these are the resolutions on the horizontal and on the vertical. The positive and the negative signs, as I explained in the last video, have to do with the direction. You will understand everything by the time you have studied the last video before you listen to this or before you watch this. Now the next thing now is I want to find the summation of Fx, that is the horizontal forces, and the summation of all the forces on the vertical. So that means I'm going to press 10 cos 30 plus 3 minus 6 cos 60. Let's see what that will give us. The summation of all these values is approximately 8.7. While the addition of all these is 5. Now, the next thing is to use these values to find the resultant vector, which is the resultant force here, by applying the formula we have already discussed in the last video. So, recalling the formula for resultant, the next thing now is to substitute. 8.7 will replace this. That will be 8.7 all squared plus 5 squared. So let's see what we get. All right. So the resultant is approximately 10, because square root of 100.69 is 10 point something very small. So we approximated to whole number. Now the last stage now is we want to find the direction of the resultant, which I've given you in the last video, that tan theta is equal to f of y over f of x, or fy over fx rather. So I'm going to substitute this now. My fy is 5 and my fx is 8.7. So that means tan theta will be 5 over 8.7. So theta will now be inverse tan of 5 over 8.7. So that theta is approximately 30 degrees, because using this formula 5 over 8.7. This is a vector diagram. Since both fx and fy are positive, so y is pointing up, which is 5 Newton, and 8.7 is pointing right, which is positive direction. Because and the line of 8.7 Newton must be longer than the line of 5. Please take note of that. So this is our fx, this is our fy.